As we approach the fall winter season of golf, I don't know anybody that wouldn't like to hit the ball a little bit further to try and get that ball down the fairway and give yourself a good approach into the green. I'm going to give you a few tips that hopefully will help you do this over the coming months. To hit the ball further, we need to improve three things. We need to optimize our delivery on the golf ball, and we need to have speed, and we need to have power. With these things, we can get the ball further down the fairway. The first thing we're going to look at is the way we deliver the club into the ball. When we hit an iron shot, we set up and we tend to have very level shoulders, and when we're hitting the ball, we're allowing for a hit down into the ball. When we're now going to hit a driver, we want to optimize our launch conditions. We want to optimize that ability to get the ball up in the air with low spin at as much speed as possible. To do this, we can do a couple of things in our setup. The first thing is we're going to make sure the ball is forward in our stance, and unlike an iron where we would set up very level shouldered, we're going to create a little tilt in our spine. So we're going to see our hips move forward a little bit and our head move behind the ball a little bit more. What this is going to enable us to be able to do is make the club hit up on the ball as opposed to hit down on the ball. I like to think of it like an aeroplane. The aeroplane comes in, the front wheels touch down, and that's our low zeroed out point. We want to try and hit the ball on the takeoff, so as the club is coming up. What this does is reduces spin, increases launch, and gets that optimum ball flight that we're all looking for. Now we've got this great setup. We're ready to go. We have our spine tilted and we're behind the ball. To create more power, we want to make a bigger wind up. To do this, we have to allow our hips and our shoulders to turn. I see too many golfers where their hips are restricted, and then because of this, they can't rotate their shoulders. What I want you to allow to happen is I want you to feel that your lower half is loose. If your left heel has to come up a little bit, that's fine. We don't want to feel like we're rigid in our waist. So when I set up to here, my feet are wider, creating a strong balance base. My head is behind the ball, I've got a little bit of tilt, and I'm going to feel like I wind up and I'm going to allow my hips to turn and allow my shoulders to fully turn. This gets me behind the ball and will just create more power and more wind up. So now we've got this great wind up. We've created all this power. We've rotated our hips. We've got behind the ball. We're now ready to hit up on the ball because we know that will optimize our launch conditions. Once we have that, the final piece of the jigsaw is speed. I hit it too far. I've heard no one ever say that to me. I want you to be trying to hit it further. Unless you hit it as far as Bryson DeChambeau, you don't hit it far enough. So once we've made this big wind up, it's not about being cautious and trying to steer the ball down the fairway. I want you to let it go. I want you to unleash that power. So as I set up here, I've got my wide setup. I've got my tilt behind the ball. I'm going to make a big wind up. And when I hit it, I'm going to make sure I'm connected. So that last drive, I really gave it my all and my microphone flew off. There was so much power there. The final piece of the jigsaw, what I'm looking to do to increase distance, hit the ball further, is strike. Strike is everything. If you can hit the center of the club face, that's a huge, huge power source. The drivers are designed nowadays where if you do hit them off center, they go well, but there's no substitute for hitting it in the middle of the club face. If you get some foot spray, spray a little on the face, get some tape on the face, hit some balls on the range, see where you're hitting the ball. Have an understanding of where you hit the ball on the face and what it does to the ball. Train yourself to hit the middle of the face. It'll make a huge difference. I hope some of these tips help you and they enable you to hit the ball a little further this year. A quick recap: feet a little wider, making sure you have a little tilt behind the ball in your setup. We're trying to hit the ball on the up, not the down. So I want you to make sure your focus is on hitting up and hit it with some power. Commit, turn the body through. You've made this nice wind up, you've got your shoulders behind the ball, hips behind the ball. Really unload, let everything turn through, be committed. And hopefully you hit some big drives this winter and have some good golf games.